Once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans, welcome to part 2 of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show Disney Star Wars Mashup Edition. And these pretty much are the final Disney Star Wars mashup figures that I have. There are a few other figures that I have yet to open from the Star Tours line, which are essentially just droids that were in the Star Tours ride. But these are the ones these are the last of the Disney ones. And I do believe I've pretty much collected everything. So I'm pretty excited about that. So what do we have? Well, we have over here, we have Luke. We have Leia and R2 with a holographic Leia, Pluto, and Minnie. We have a Celebration 5 exclusive Donald Duck as Shadow Stormtrooper. We have Mickey and Chip and Dale as Luke and the Ewoks. This is Luke dressed as a Endor Luke. We have Donald Duck as Savage Joe Press. This is a character from the Clone Wars. We have a Donald Duck as Darth Maul with cloth. I think we have a Darth Maul, but like in a kind of like a hard goods, you know, like a vinyl cape. And then we have Mickey Mouse as Luke X-Wing pilot. Now, one thing I will talk about with these figures is I'm going to just kind of do these all the way around here, is that these figures all come with, and I didn't really mention this, when we purchased these figures, they came with these awesome plastic cases. What I generally, sometimes they call these star cases. These are a little bit weaker, a little bit not quite as strong as the ones that have, in fact here they are kind of coming apart. But nonetheless, I like to have these, and I like to, you know, have a whole bunch. Some of them are purchased on my own, but I use them because I am trying to develop a carded collection of vintage figures that are damaged. Because why do I do that? Well, the damaged figures are not worth as much, and therefore they don't cost as much money to purchase. So I'm slowly developing. I got about, I think about 40 of them. I've done a shelf talk with them. So that's among the things that I like to purchase and keep boxed. But these cases can be reused, and they do take up a little room. They're a little boxy, so it's you know, I wouldn't use them unlimited, but they do protect the figures really well. So I will say that that's kind of a nice thing. But the ones that are from Disney have been sealed. So just kind of cut that out, and we get all the figures in, and then we'll go from there. All right, cool. I very much enjoy doing this. It's almost therapeutic to some degree. Why don't we start with we'll start with Darth Maul over here. For one thing, they come out really quick. They have some backdrops. If you're so inclined, you can keep them and use the backdrops. They're pretty simple to take out of the package. They do have some rubber bandy kind of things that are a little bit of a challenge. But I think what I'm going to kind of assembly line this because, and I'll explain, I'll get Donald done just because there he is. He has a nice cloth case, kind of reminiscent of the old Jawas that came out in the 70s. But what I want to do, well, first of all, I have to raise this up a little bit. So, Donald, you have to. You're not dead yet. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox everything at once, or at least I'm going to take them out of there. Like, I'll keep the little plastic things just so that we have. There's a method to my madness here, which I'll get to in a minute. It's just, you know, these things take up a lot of space when I trash them or recycle the cardboard, so I just want to try to be more smart about that. This, put that over there. Yeah, so again, I've had a lot of people, you know, ask me like, why do you do this? And it's just funny. I'm like, I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I enjoy it. It's a hobby for me, you know, and that's why I have the channel. I enjoy sharing my hobby with anybody, even if it's only 15, 20, 30, 40 people. I enjoy sharing the hobby for anybody who wants to. But I do appreciate some comments that I do get, and even some, you know, some little light discussion about anything I've been talking about, whether it be the Star Wars movies, the Disney acquisition, any of that stuff. It's pretty cool. So the reason I'm doing it, you'll see I'm stacking these up, and this takes up less room in your trash or recycling. So that's a good thing. Some of the stuff pops right out, some of it doesn't. And last but not least, I know there's people like, oh my god, I can't believe you're unboxing. But you know, when you talk to people, honestly, I think the people that get most upset about unboxing are the people who sell toys to collectors, because they realize that the value that they could get for that toy has now just gone from here down to here. And in my answer to, and that's honestly the way it is. I mean, let's face it. When you're a collector, if you're a salesperson and you're selling stuff to try to sell to other collectors, well, sure enough, if you are, taking stuff out of the package, you're just, devaluing it, and that's not good for that person. But since I'm not a person who's trying to sell anything, it's really doesn't make any difference to me. I'm fine with it. So we're gonna start. We already got a Darth Duck Maul or Donald Duck Maul, and then we have this really interesting. Oh, I think, yeah, he has. I was wondering about this helmet. You have the option of keeping Luke / Mickey's visor helmet on or off, but if you put it on, there's no way to put it on over his head because of his ears, so you have to kind of clamshell it together. Okay, so you got Luke. That's kind of a cool Luke. I would have liked them to have done a speeder bike, and that's one thing they never really did. Oops. I think they only made one vehicle. I think they made a Jedi Starfighter. That was it. With Mickey Luke. Come on, dude. There he's gonna fall over too. All right, and then you've got Chip and Dale. I said this in the past. Chip is the one with the black nose, like a chocolate chip. So when you see these characters in the park, one of them has a red nose, one of them has black nose. The one with the black nose is Chip. Impress your friends with that. My brother, whom I love dearly, he's my hero from growing up. He's my older brother. He once went down with us to Disney, and he was asking about the chipmunks, and he was asking, "Where's Alvin?" Facepalm. Still, he's a good guy. Now, for the Mickey Mouse Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot figure, this one was interesting. They did something a little different here. For this one, they just put the ears... Oh, no, they didn't. It's the same thing. Sorry. It's a clamshell. Poor Mickey. Mickey can't cosplay without having to do special accommodations. All right. Oh, boy. Here we go. Another weird plastic one. Let's get Leia. Leia's pretty simple. My cousin texted me the other day. If you're watching, cuz, hi. And she said, "Hey, cuz, what's a 6-letter word for Princess Leia's last name?" Well, of course, the answer is Organa. And she's like, "Did they ever mention that in the movies?" And I was like, and first I was like, of course they did. And then I realized, no, they didn't. Think about it. There is no movie, I don't think, where they mention Princess Leia Organa. They do mention Bail Organa. Actually, I don't even know if they mention Bail Organa. I don't know if the name Organa is mentioned at all. So that's weird. Never knew that. So now you know. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. The R2 is cute. It's got like a little trash can lid. It goes back and forth. That's neat. And he does have the 3-leg thing, but it's weird that when you do it like this, it kind of leans back. So it's kind of meant to be just straight. So it'll display better if you just line them up straight. All right. And so we started with the 2 Mickeys, went to Leia and R2, and now we're going to end with the two Donalds. All right, and it looks like it's pretty much obviously the Sauvage Opress is technically a different figure, but it's Darth Maul's brother, so of course they're gonna, use a similar figure, and he stands better. He stands better than you. And last but not least, we are with the Shadow Trooper, which I love. The Shadow Trooper is something that came out in like expanded universe stuff between the prequel era and when the new Disney era, and Again, it has the clamshell kind of thing with the face, but it was a black stormtrooper, and a lot of people were like, kind of like, it was a massive collective, duh. Why wouldn't there be a black stormtrooper? I mean, you got to imagine that a black stormtrooper makes sense, right? I mean, to be a little bit more covert, that kind of thing. So he doesn't seem to want to hold his weapon very well. I keep trying to do it, but he doesn't seem to want to do that. And I'm trying to turn. It doesn't look like his wrist turns either. So I'm going to just kind of tuck it under his arm for right now. But nice web feet. There you go. And that will be pretty much the end of the Disney Star Wars figure line. Okay. Although you never say never. I mean, I am very certain that with the Disney Star Wars acquisition, there are going to be lots of discussions in meeting rooms, in the creative offices, year after year after year, on how they can, how they can basically profit over this and put out product that people would want to collect and want to purchase. I don't collect everything, but I do collect. I do enjoy small, like, finite collections that I can very easily finish. So this Star Wars Disney mashup and the Muppet Disney mashup and the Cars Disney mashup are the three ones that I can think of off the top of my head that I really enjoyed, and I think I've managed to mostly finish, or at least come close, to collect the majority of. So, as I mentioned in last week's episode, I'm looking for a way to display them in a way that you can see them better. I had them all kind of on a shelf, but they were all kind of blocking each other, and they were up high, so you really couldn't see any of them. So I'm coming up with some ways to do that. So, that will do it. In celebration for the upcoming opening of Galaxy's Edge to everyone in Florida, that will do it for this week's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, smash the like button, thumbs up button, all that fancy lingo you young kids do. And I will be back. I usually drop on Sundays and Wednesdays with new episodes. We've got some old school stuff we want to dig out and do some unboxings with. We got some new things coming in the mail. Triple Force Friday is rapidly approaching, which I'm going to try to do a whole, do a whole sale, do a whole run out. I'm going to try to get a friend of mine to meet me and try to film it with me so we can both collect and, make our purchases and film. So we'll see what happens. Until then, when all those videos drops, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll do Leia. May the Force be with you.